Well. A record list that I haven't done in a very long time. Ranking all the Walt Disney Animation Studios movies by worst to best. Walt Disney Studios. The studio that make perfect good time movies like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, you know all the rest. And sometimes they make some crap. But anyways, this is just the Amazing Studios, part of my second favorite studio. My favorite is still Pixar. But still, it's an amazing, brilliant studio, and that's why I'm gonna rate them all. Yeah, this is kind of my redo ranking list because when I finished my last one, it got blocked up. So hopefully it doesn't repeat itself again. So today, I'm about to rank all the Walt Disney Animation Studios again. And with the recent movie having been released yet, I think I had to try to think about this list or just do it again. So people, I invite all y'all to relax, let y'all pull up a chair as I pronounce to make the Walt Disney Animation Studios ranking list. Let's get it started. Starting with the bottom. This is gonna take forever. Disappointment in the game of life. Well guys, here it is. The bottom of the barrel. The black sheep of all the Disney movies. I have a hard time watching this movie, and frankly, this movie pissed me off ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst Disney animated movie is none other than The Black Cauldron. What? I'm sorry, people. I know exactly what movie you thought was going to be in last place. And don't worry, you see it soon. But honestly, The Black Cauldron is just a wasted movie. I mean, it could have potential to be a dark and a crazy movie, which it could be working enough. I mean, it does look astonishing and the soundtrack looks excellent, but when you watch this movie, it just gets disappointing and just so bored. The story is just confusing to think about it, and the characters are so bland. For example, what's with the pig? I mean, I get that there's something about her, like she can have this vision or something, but why do you need the pig in the movie anyways? I mean, they just straight up in the first plot that the pig could have a vision, and then later she gets kidnapped and Torin was trying to free her. But after when Torin freed the pig off of the villain's castle, the plot just come out of nowhere, and it feels like nothing in the movie. I mean, seriously, there's nothing necessary for the pig anyways. And then after that, there was another scene where Torin defeated the instruments with the sword thing, which the sword could make all the power, but the main character is useless. And there's no redeemable quality about the characters whatsoever. The main character is an a-hole. The comic relief is obnoxious and useless. The love interest is a bland love interest. The plot sequences about the movie is so wasted and cliche. It's just a fool armed with some fairy thingies and those witches that were from the movie that's called Hocus Pocus, which that film looks way better than this one. And after watching that movie and finish it, I did not care about this movie. It's so boring and bland. It just have no plot and all, and just no redeemable characters and all that stuff. The only good thing I can have about this movie is the animation. Some of the soundtracks looks really neat, and they do have a very dark and entertaining villain, the Corner King. But that there's nothing else to say about this boring, bland, and bore-fest of a movie. Sure, some people will call it underrated, but as for me, nah, this movie is just boring, wasted, and has nothing quality about this movie whatsoever. It was also the first Disney movie to bomb at the box office, which it kind of deserved it. I mean, this movie was just forgettable, waste of time, and just a cinematic disaster. Now everyone, if you guys are new to my channel, you know how much I cannot stand Home on the Range. While The Black Cauldron is a boring Disney movie, Home on the Range is just an irritating Disney movie to talk about. It sucks very badly. And what's about it, this movie has no plot whatsoever. I can't even remember a single thing about the plot because I haven't watched this movie in about a year. It's such a forgettable bad Disney movie. And really just the worst thing, at least some overhated Disney movie has a better plot than this one. For example, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Raya and the Last Dragon, or even movies like Chicken Little has a better plot than this one. Which all y'all could expect this movie to be the worst Disney movie, but I'll talk about this movie later. The rest of this movie is just basically nothing, with some weak humor and disgusting poop jokes and fart jokes. And some of this movie also has some disgusting burping and farting things that gets so disgusting to me.
You shut the fuck up!
Yeah, this movie was so bad and disgusting. But unlike the Black Cauldron, at least this movie didn't bore me. But it was kind of hard to watch because of how awful it was. I mean, there's nothing else I have to say about this movie. It's just so bad. And the characters were bad as well. I mean, the main cows, they were so boring. And the horse is just basically a design of Marty. And the villain, I did not care about the villain. He sucked, but he's not worse than Hans. As for positives, well, the only positive I have to say is the animation. It was fine. But the animation cannot save itself for this poor, basic, and just a bland joke of a movie that's basically just make you want to rage. Why did I end up defending this movie? My opinion on Dinosaur 2000s is just kind of pandemic. I mean, I used to like this movie, but honestly, rewatching that on Disney Plus, yeah, this movie was just awful. It's just plain and boring, and it's such an outdated movie that you kind of think it was the first CGI animated Disney movie coming from Disney, but which it didn't apply to that. It was just a 3D movie that Disney wanted to make for a dinosaur movie. And this movie is just not a dinosaur movie. It's just a waste of time with no plot. It's just basically dinosaurs walking. And basically, the only good thing about this movie is just the opening looks kind of nice with all the visuals of the dinosaurs. And what else? I guess the soundtrack hits well because whoever made the soundtrack is very creative. Everything about this movie is just very stupid and very dull. The story makes no sense whatsoever. The animation, well, sometimes it's good, it feels good on the visuals, but as for the characters, making it to 3D, yeah, it's just pretty ugly. And some of the characters are really forgettable, but the one character I really despise is Chrome. Basically, when there's a part where Chrome leads the heart into the wrong way, Alador decided to listen to not only to his own way, but decided to follow his own way. And what did Crone do? Wow, what did he do? He just freaking bowing him because of his own way. You see, there's nothing redeemable about this character, and he's really just basically an a-hole to the whole entire movie. And the part where he got killed off by that T-Rex, he honestly deserves it. I have nothing else to say. This one's just really bad with some dull story, outdated animation, very forgettable characters, made from forgettable to a complete a-hole. No wonder why Shortfield Seduction hate this movie. He called it his worst Disney movie of all time. I could agree, but honestly, yeah, it's my third least favorite. But at least The Good Dinosaur looks good in comparison compared to this one, even though I don't care about that movie whatsoever.
Tell everybody I'm on my way.
Dude, shut the hell up!
I did not care about Brother Bear at all. I mean, I at least give one credit for this movie. The animation, the soundtrack, and the opening of the score, it kind of looks so very good. But ever since when Key and I get turned to a bear, it's just basically your cliche movie about journey and basically all about dealing with an annoying character. It's such a dull movie. I mean, I won't say that it's a terrible movie, but it is a pretty bad movie. And the plot about this is just basically like Brave, but at least for Brave, they had some very good animation, good opening, and a well done ending. Brother Bear is nothing. It's just a pointless movie. And the worst thing about this movie is the Phil Collins songs. I mean, sometimes the Phil Collins songs works well with Tarzan, not so much as Brother Bear, because those songs could be a huge distractor. I mean, there was a scene where Kenai told Coda about his mother, and then when he told them the truth, The Phil chorus song interrupted and we don't even know what Kenai is talking about. It's a huge distractor and it makes no sense at all. The characters are so bad as well. Kenai is such a big a-hole in this whole entire movie and there's no doable about him whatsoever. The moves are also annoying, but hey, I'd rather take them over Coda. Because for the mooses, they don't really have that much screen time in this movie. Coda is just so annoying. He talks too much, he's so annoying and bratty, and he looks very confession about, well, basically nothing. I mean, I get his whole plot thing, but he's just so annoying. It makes you want him to shut up. So yeah, Brother Bear is wasteless, but it's not terrible at all. But all the other stuff about the Brotherhood stuff, yeah, this one is just pointless and dull. So the Disney's Wartime movies, the packaged ones. I'll say that those packaged movies are pretty much a mixed bag to me. But basically, Disney has run out of ideas, so they decided to make those packaged films was civilized by shorts, but none of them are at least entertaining for me. But which one of them is the worst? Well, let me just say that I'll say all of them except for Ichabod and Mistletoe, just these 5. Look, I'm not saying that the Wartime area Disney movies are pretty bad. They're basically just kind of a meh to me. They're all pretty boring, basically have no plot whatsoever. They're just basically shorts and that's just it. I mean, at least I had to get credit by every episode I've seen. Some of them worked out pretty good, while others, they're just treated as a joke. The reason why they're in the 5-way tie is, they're just boring to me. Like with Fun and Fest is Free, they have some really bad lots of parts. Like bingo parts, it's just very stupid with the bear slapping to make sure they feel love or something. That's just pretty stupid. Oh yeah, and also Make My Music is the only Disney movie that wasn't in Disney Plus, so yeah, that's just kind of sad. I mean, they could have some fun songs and stuff, but other stuff, yeah, they're just pretty bland and boring. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Wartime area Disney movies. It's because they're so predictable and boring, and the shorts were quite pointless as well. But it serves its purpose, and I can't make so much about them. So yeah, the 5 of them are boring, but at least one of them at least impressed me a little.
Now, where can I find Arthur Pendragon?
The Sword in the Stone is just a forgettable Silver Age Disney movie. I mean, with some of the Disney Silver Age area Disney movies, they're at least memorable, like Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, Peter Pan, and all that stuff. But out of one of them, yeah, The Sword of Stone is a movie that everybody was talking about. I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of a meh to me. I forget every single thing about this movie. Even though I rewatched this movie, I just basically forget every day about this movie. Also, this movie is just a waste of time. I mean, if Merlin could at least train Arthur about how to be a king, it does work out pretty well. But sadly, they just waste their time of turning into animals, and it's just very boring and just very dull. But the animal scenes weren't really that bad. I have to say, the animal battle between Merlin and Min, that's her name is, the crazy villain, I'd say that scene was pretty funny and it's very, very cool. All the animals turning into stuff and the battle is just very funny. And the movie wastes so many times to let the guards let Arthur pull the sword until the end of the movie. So yeah, that's just barely wasted. So yeah, this movie is just basically a mad movie. I didn't hate it. It's just a very forgettable and just a pointless movie. And literally, out of the Silver Age area Disney movies, yeah, this is the one I watched the least. It's just bland.
Oh, God. Hey, watch it, Rob. That's the only ad I've got.
I have a little hard time talking about Robin Hood. I mean, I wouldn't find this movie as a bad movie, But yeah, it's pretty much a mad movie with the plot story kind of predictable and some characters that are really just a basic reference of the Jungle Book characters. The snake design is just basically Kaa, and Lil Jon is just basically Baloo, and out of coincidence, they're voiced by the same voice actor. My biggest negative is Prince John. He sucks. He sucks very poorly. Instead of being as a very threatening villain in the movie, he's just one little baby in the whole entire movie, just going to a temple HG and suck his thumb like a whiny little what's it is. If things doesn't get in his way, he's just basically beating up his henchmen.
You broke your mother's mirror. Oh, Mommy.
The rest of the movie is pretty fine with some good animation and some harmless characters. Other than that, this movie just served as a preschool movie instead of an entertaining Disney movie. So yeah, it's just basically mad, but it could be harmless. Oh yeah, not to mention... Y'all know Disney copy reference. How did I didn't know?
I'm so bored. Boring. So boring. I'm so bored. Boring.
I'm gonna get so many hate about my criticize about this movie. I mean, I used to like it until I realized we watched this movie. It's so boring. And particularly, it's just about opinion by every single Disney review I keep on seeing. Some people keep calling at least one Disney movie overrated. It's just a fact though. But as for this movie, yeah, it's kind of overrated. And I hate to show it to you guys. Honestly, I have now changed my mind about this movie, and now I find Sleeping Beauty overrated. What? I'm very sorry for putting this movie this low on this list. I know a lot of fans in this movie, but what they even see into this movie? I wouldn't say it's not a terrible movie, don't get me wrong, but it's overrated to me. And how do I think it's overrated? Oh, I'll tell you why. The main character to herself, Aurora. I'm sorry guys, but Aurora is just a disappointing princess character. She's basically have no plot to herself and she barely had that much screen time. How am I supposed to believe that she was the main character and the main focus is on the three fairies themselves? She's a boring character and barely has no character whatsoever. And basically barely have that much lines whatsoever. Prince Philip is also boring as well, but I at least have to give it one credit to him. He at least did something unlike Aurora, like the Fate in Maleficent. Now that was spectacular. I also get to mention the climax scene was very incredible to watch. Now that was one of my favorites. About Prince Philip tried to defeat Maleficent into a battle. That was incredible. Oh yeah, speaking of Maleficent, wow, she's easily one of the most darkest and one of the best things about this movie. She was a very entertaining Disney villain, and her plot really makes sense. I also get to mention the part where she gets turned into a dragon in the battle scene, so that way she could face off Philip. Now that was amazing. As for the three fairies, I mean, they're pretty good characters, but they kind of let down to Aurora's plot and not letting having the main focus to Aurora, but with them, yeah, it kind of lets down to it. And this movie was kind of a little bit short. It could have been much longer so that way Aurora could have a little bit more main character focus, but it didn't really work well at all. For all those positives, yeah, Sleeping Beauty is still an overrated Disney movie. In fact, an overrated Disney princess movie, where our main character not having a main focus in this whole entire movie, and the dialogue is losing out of focus. I basically have no fun with Sleeping Beauty. It's not a bad Disney movie, but it's just kind of overrated.